The death of Pope Francis on April 21st, 2025, shook the Catholic world and raised questions about the future of the Church. This event marks the beginning of a process of great importance, the election of a new pope. In the heart of the Vatican, in a place full of history and spiritual significance, the Conclave will take place, one of the most mysterious and extraordinary processes in the history of the Church. Who takes part in it? What are the rules governing this event? How is the election of a pope carried out? In this film, we take a close look at what a conclave is and what the election of a pope looks like after the death of Pope Francis. The conclave is one of the most mysterious and symbolic rituals in the Catholic Church. It is a closed meeting of cardinals, the purpose of which is to elect a new pope, the successor of St. Peter. The name itself comes from the Latin conclave, which literally means with a key. This name is not accidental. For centuries, cardinals participating in the conclave have been locked up for the duration of the deliberations in a designated space, usually within the Vatican, completely cut off from the outside world. Today, it is most often the Sistine Chapel, a place of prayer, silence, and decision, under Michelangelo's monumental fresco depicting the Last Judgment. This event is not just a political choice or formality. For the Church, the conclave has a profound spiritual significance. It is a moment of discernment of God's will. Cardinals are not only to vote, but to pray, reflect, and discern who God is calling to lead the Church. Any baptized man can become a candidate. But for centuries, only cardinals have been chosen, most often with great pastoral experience and moral authority. The deliberations are strictly secret. All communication with the outside world is forbidden, and breaking this rule threatens excommunication. The tradition of conclaves dates back to the Middle Ages. In 1271, after almost 3 years without a pope, the people of Viterbo, desperate about the lack of a decision, locked the cardinals in a palace, restricted their food, and even partially tore off the roof to speed up their deliberations. A pope was elected soon after, and that experience gave rise to today's formal conclave process. It is a unique time when the world waits in uncertainty, and the Church, through prayer and reflection, seeks to answer the question, who will be the next shepherd of more than 1 billion Catholics? The new pope is elected by the College of Cardinals, specifically by those of its members who have not reached the age of 80 on the day the sede vacante begins, the vacancy in the Holy See. Although the 1996 Apostolic Constitution, Universi Dominici Gregis, sets the maximum number of cardinal electors at 120. In practice, this limit is sometimes exceeded. Before the conclave in 2025, the number of cardinal electors is 135, which is a record in the history of the Church. This is the result of the appointment of new cardinals by Pope Francis. 108 of them are his nominees. Although formally the limit of 120 electors remains in force, the popes have tolerated exceeding it for years, which does not invalidate the conclave itself. The conclave does not begin immediately after the death or resignation of the pope. According to current canon law, specifically the document Universi Dominici Gregis, the conclave can begin no earlier than the 15th day and no later than the 20th day after the announcement of the sede vacante, that is, the vacancy in the See of Peter. This time is used, among other things, for the funeral ceremonies of the Pope, daily meetings of cardinals called general congregations, and organizational preparations for the conclave itself. After this period ends, the cardinal electors, those who have not reached the age of 80, go solemnly to the Sistine Chapel. Beforehand, they celebrate a special Holy Mass pro Eligendo Romano Pontifice, asking the Holy Spirit for light and wisdom in making the right choice. They are locked in the Sistine Chapel. From that moment on, all communication with the outside world is completely cut off. Voting takes place twice a day, in the morning and in the afternoon. Each cardinal writes the name of the chosen one on a piece of paper and puts it in a special ballot box. After each round, the cards are counted and burned. If the choice is unsuccessful, black smoke rises from the chimney. If the new pope is elected, that is, if he receives at least 2/3 of the votes, the smoke is white. This is a sign to the whole world Habemus Papam, we have a pope. The chosen cardinal is asked if he accepts the election, and if he agrees, he chooses the name by which he will be known as pope. Then he goes to the Room of Tears, where he puts on the papal cassock for the first time and prepares to go out onto the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica. After a short preparation, the cardinal protodeacon proclaims the famous
Habemus Papam. Eminentissimum ac reverendissimum Dominum Carolum, Sancte Romane Ecclesiae, Cardinalem Wojtyła.
After which the newly elected Holy Father gives the first blessing, Urbi et Orbi, i.e., to the city and to the world. Pope Francis's pontificate will certainly go down in history as one of the most dynamic and groundbreaking. As the first Jesuit pope, the first pope from South America, and the first pope to take the name Francis, he brought a breath of fresh air to the Vatican, but also sparked numerous discussions among both the faithful and the clergy. He focused on poverty, ecology, interfaith dialogue, and the reform of the Roman Curia. At the same time, his pontificate was controversial, not only because of his openness to difficult social issues, but also because of his stance on abuses in the church. For some, it was a sign of hope and renewal. For others, a symbol of too bold a change. The future of the Catholic Church today faces a big question mark. Who will be its new leader? Has it already taken the course set by Francis, or will it retreat to more traditional teaching? This will be decided by the Conclave, a closed, ancient, and still mysterious gathering of cardinals that will once again stand on the threshold of choosing the successor to St. Peter. Stay with us so you don't miss out on more content. Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.